Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're doing a Let's Play and early impressions for Monster Titans Playground VR, a game released in early access on the Steam Store July 24th, 2025. It normally retails for $30. It's on a release sale 17% off. I did buy this game, and I'm testing it out on the Meta Quest 3 using link cable on my RTX 3080. As far as settings, I did turn music off, and I did turn off the FPS display. You know what? I'm going to turn it back on. But average of 80 frames per second. Some frame rate drops. I think it's dropped as low as 40. I'm going to turn Steadicam off because I don't want to add to the performance issues. Shadows on, post-processing on, resolution scaling. You cannot turn it up. You can only turn it down. So there's not a whole lot of graphical settings to mess with. Full locomotion, smoother snap turning. We have teleportation available as well. You can joystick camera direction or headset, controller, or smart. And calibrate height. So the way you get calibrate height is actually you go to the beta unstable. And to be honest, I really haven't noticed too much difference between the... let's go ahead and let's just play. We have counter attack. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and let's just play. But this unstable beta, you have to go to the beta branch on Steam. Let's you play seated with the calibrate height available. Honestly, I didn't notice too much difference between the unstable beta and the official release, other than you can play seated comfortably. Otherwise, I had to play standing with the official release. I've actually played longer with the official release than unstable beta, but like I said, I really haven't noticed any differences. And you just go, So these kaiju games, there's several of them in VR, but what they're all really good for is stress release. Hard day at work, you can punch and bring down some buildings and see the chaos. Now, as far as humans, you can pick them up. But you can't crush them or anything like that. You can throw them. And my favorite, now I have a lot of damage, so I want to eat. One thing I don't like is the way the guns are done in this game, because it makes the game rather inconsistent. Oh, well, perfect. They destroyed each other. So by eating vehicles, you do get more health. So you can block, and then you can counter like so. But you might take damage, like so. So you see how this weapon really is not that good. So you do like a little button press. And this is a gravity gun right here. But as you can see, it's not very consistent. So what I want to do is I want to eat a vehicle so that I get back to health. But you do notice the frame rate drops and the stutters and stuff like that. So again, I want to eat a vehicle because what? Okay, so I'll eat a vehicle here so I get back to full health. Alright, let's do the counters. So I want to do the counters here. Let's see, come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. One more counter. One more counter. One more counter. Yeah, some of these challenges are not that fun. The counter one is not that fun. There we go. There we go. We got the achievement. There we go. Mission complete. Return to lab. So what that did is that gives us some money. I have most of the stuff. In fact, I have everything but one thing unlocked. So I have all these unlocked, all these enemies, and I have all these weapons unlocked, and I have all these superpowers unlocked except for this one, 5,000. So it'll take a while, and then there's challenges. Like I said, we just finished the give me a hand counterattack completed. So now we just need give me a hand, which is rip 3 limbs. Okay, we'll need to rip 3 limbs. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's change up these. Let's do the minigun. That's great, and let's get rid of the plasma cannon. Let's get rid of the gravity gun. Let's just do lasers. The lasers are actually my favorite. Let's do laser and railgun, actually. All right, let's go and let's start. Oh, we need to change the challenge. We need to make it a little bit more difficult. So we're going to make it more difficult. We don't want to make it too difficult, though. I think that'll be sufficient challenge there. Actually, that might be too difficult. But we have the laser. I remember we have the laser. So as long as we have the laser, we're pretty good. Actually, the laser is like my favorite weapon because it's just the most consistent. Everything else is pretty inconsistent. So it's really the lasers that really do a lot of damage. Just because you don't have to worry about the way the funky way that stuff is activated. Wait, what's oh yeah. By the way, let me show that. Let me climb up. We're going to need some health. There we go. And so you want to focus on what you can destroy really quick. And these attack helicopters are quite a menace, so there we go. I think I got the most difficult part out. Wait, I still hear some helicopters, so you see the plasma gun isn't as good. So you see why the miniguns are so good? They throw missiles at you. Their missiles are very difficult. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some health. This is why I like the minigun. This is why I hate missiles. They're... Again, some health. And I can do this as a little bomb whenever they get over here. And you notice that my railgun is not really doing anything. The railgun is so inconsistent. You're supposed to slightly depress on the trigger, like so. You see how bad it is though? It's so slow. I better be careful. Let me unload on this guy right here. Man, these missiles are going to get me killed. No, and it's always the wrong target. No, I don't want to target the shield guy. I want to target the guy actually shooting at me. Oh my God, I swear to God. Ah, come on. Okay, there we go. Oh, come on. No! Ah. That's why taking two of those is pretty difficult. They do that where they, obviously they're helping each other. That was just bad luck, actually. I felt like there were two heroes versus this. All right. Is there anything else we can do? I think that shows the gameplay. Here are my early impressions. There's a good, solid core to this game. The problem is that there's very little content. Like, it took me 2 hours to unlock all this. Like I said, the only thing I haven't unlocked is this photon lens, which honestly, it seems like it's the most overpowered thing you can get. So it probably takes away some of the fun just because it's probably too powerful. Juggernaut's pretty fun. Like I said, I do like the fire breath. I do like the miniguns. That's a good setup, though, because that takes care of a lot of problems. Like I said, a lot of these weapons are inconsistent. Like, I could barely get the railgun to work. The gravity gun, I could barely get it to work. The remote bombs, again, that's not very good. It's just hard to aim with these. Like, a lot of these are hard to aim for no good reason. Power Fist. Now, the Power Fist is good. So these three are good. In fact, I want to show the Power Fist, right? All right. And all right, so let's show something different. And let's make a little bit of a challenge. All right, so let's go. I do like the Power Fist. I think that's a good one. For some reason, though, you don't have a sword, which I think is weird. You should have a sword. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. So we've gotten rid of a lot of enemies. What I want to do, though, is tear limbs. So I gotta God damn it. Alright. So, there's a lot of kaiju games in VR. I'm not sure that this is the best one, and the only reason I say that is because it had such limited content. Like I said, it takes about 2 hours to unlock everything, although I still have one last thing to unlock, but, in 2 hours it took me to get here, basically. But it is fun. There is a nice physics to this, but keep in mind, it's only one map. You only have one kaiju. You do have different enemies, but as you can see, you can only do custom game. Like if you click on this coming soon, it says missions coming soon, so it doesn't even have missions. You just have basically unlocks, and once you unlock everything, basically there's not a whole lot to do other than set up the difficulty that you want. How much stuff do you want on screen? Basically, is the question. And you can put different. Like if you really want it difficult, you can do all this, I guess. And then you can add even more. Like, there you go. If you want to make it difficult. But I don't know how long that's going to keep you entertained. Keep in mind, like I said, a lot of this stuff is very buggy. Like I said, I had trouble with the gravity gun. It doesn't always grab. I had trouble with the rail gun. And also the plasma cannon. And the remote bombs, I just have trouble targeting. I have no idea where they're going to go, honestly. That's why I don't like using it. I think the laser is probably the best one, the most consistent. And the power fist is pretty good. And here, obviously, this is going to be the best one, the photon lens that costs $5,000. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. This has been my Let's Play Early Impressions. I'm not going to, basically you can consider this a live review because basically I've experienced all the content except for this photon lens. It's nice for what it is, but it's also rather janky and it has limited content. So right now you're paying a lot because, like I said, normal price is $30. That's quite a lot for what you're getting here. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. I'm not going to score this. Let's put a question mark out of 10. I think really I could only recommend this if you want to support the development of this game, but it's certainly not worth the price right now. Just because, like I said, limited content and what's there is very janky. I'm playing the unstable beta, but the unstable beta is just as stable as the official release. Really, the big difference is that you can play seated because you can calibrate height. So. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. This has been my Let's Play Early Impressions. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye. By the way, it also says this World Domination Map offline. So, I don't know these developers, so I can't say they're going to keep all their promises. But it definitely has a fun core gameplay loop, and it's definitely promising to be the best kaiju game at the end of all this. But and it has a nice physics system, but, whether it gets there or not, it's a different question. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.